From the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications, your home for complete Marshall University news. You're watching MU Report.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us for this third edition of MU Report 2020. I'm Aaron Dickens.
And I'm Tiara Brown. We are student-produced newscasts of the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications at Marshall University. We air this broadcast not only on West Virginia Public Broadcasting, but also on YouTube. Now, on to our top story. The growing coronavirus pandemic has prompted Marshall to cancel international travel and consider even more drastic measures. Marshall says it's doing so to reduce the risk of exposure. The travel ban is in place until the end of April at least. The issue is so serious, Marshall is also urging spring break travelers to reconsider and cancel personal travel abroad later in March.
In one of the worst cold and flu seasons in recent memory, a growing number of students are missing school and work, and they're falling behind. In a time when everyone seems sick, how can anyone stay well?
Hospitals are seeing students in increasing numbers as Marshall students fight illnesses. And many say it's not only affecting their health, but also their work and their grades.
I know the flu's been going around really bad, and when you have the flu, you can't move out of your bed. It's just really difficult to come back from that, especially when you are so far behind.
Whether facing a cold, a fever, or even the flu, some are finding easier ways to do their work while being sick.
The easiest way to do that is to make a to-do list of everything you have to do, and maybe even schedule whenever you'll have free time to do those things. That'll help you to realize when you can do those assignments and how much time you'll have.
But all this can potentially be avoided by using the phrase many have been taught since kindergarten. Wash your hands.
The whole washing the hands, using hand sanitizer as often as possible. I still will be in the restroom and I'll hear the commode flush and then I'll hear the door shut and I'm like, no, you didn't wash your hands, what are you doing?
Keep yourself clean and don't hesitate to wash your hands, because when you get sick at college, it could potentially cost you a letter grade. Perhaps the most difficult part of getting sick is the makeup coursework after the doctor's excuse expires. Most professors are trying to be accommodating, but they remind us that makeup work is still required once we're back on our feet.
Several West Virginia lawmakers have again ignored Marshall's united stance against handguns on campus by considering a concealed carry bill in the latest session. As Sebastian Morris reports, Marshall and other colleges continue to stress that campus is no place for firearms.
A third of all Americans say they own a gun, and half of all gun owners say they own a shotgun, according to the Pew Research Center. But shotguns aren't what police, faculty, and students say they're concerned about when discussing concealed carry on Marshall's campus.
It's not a place for firearms, concealed, unconcealed, or whatever. And we still need to have that power to regulate that. It's a major safety concern. I'm more worried about accidental discharges, leaving it somewhere, having it stolen.
Concealed carry on campus is a recurring battle within the West Virginia legislature because the National Rifle Association, among other lobbying groups, push for it each year. Marshall faculty and students say campus isn't a place for gun rights.
The majority of faculty members are not in favor of having carrying weapons on campus for the public. My personal opinion is I don't think we're safer with more weapons.
Yeah, they belong on someone's private property, especially not concealed carry.
What some voters who support gun legislation which would allow concealed carry on college campuses don't understand is that it would cost Marshall University an estimated $250,000 each year to implement such a program. Sebastian Morris, MU Report.
A big part of Marshall's stance involves what are called unfunded mandates. That means if lawmakers force Marshall to allow concealed weapons, then the school has to come up with the money to keep campus safe. And administrators say doing so would take money away from other parts of higher education.
Every week. Stress of assignments, midterm exams, and approaching finals can lead some students to burnout. And as Freak Tark reports, by taking short breaks from studies and by staying healthy, students can survive this burnout.
Students are approaching midterm exams, and it is expected that exams bring a lot of stress that
Not
every
faster,
student
but just,
cannot
like,
handle.
don't.
Even when the bright students are loaded down with menial tasks, burnout can manifest.
They're pretty stressful because you have a lot of different classes that hit at like the exact same time. So you'll have like 3 exams in like one day, and you kind of have to like choose and prioritize which ones are really worth studying the most for and which ones are like more on the back end. So that kind of causes some stress of what you need to prioritize.
Boredom, lack of enthusiasm, feeling stressed, and unable to concentrate on your studies are all the signs of study burnout.
I think that is pretty normal. I think that the beginning of semester you're just excited, not really excited, but you're ready and anxious to get your classes started and just get the new semester started, get back into a routine, and then about this time is whenever you get hit with the workload, and then midterms come, and then shortly after that it seems like finals are here, so I feel like this is where it gets really stressful.
Students say they can get over study burnout by meditation, exercise, music, or by taking a break from their studies.
No, I usually keep myself pretty busy with like extracurricular stuff, so I'm not really like, I'm into my schoolwork, but I'm not like, I also have like 2 jobs, and I also like I do a lot of social things as well, so like I use that to kind of counterbalance being burnout.
Sometimes I'll take like study breaks and try to do things that would interest me or help me feel productive other than studying, because sometimes I feel like my brain needs a break in order to be more productive.
Students can recover from burnout by taking short breaks from their studies, by meditation, and by exercising, so that they can prepare themselves for the final exams. Fareed, MU Report.
Let's switch gears and talk about what leadership looks like in new business environment. To get that answer, Marshall students and the city of Huntington came together with CEOs from successful companies. And as Taylor Huddleston reports, executives from Silicon Valley say West Virginia has promise.
Leadership and the future of tomorrow is what Executive Chairman of Intuit and Marshall University graduate Brad Smith emphasized at the inaugural CEO panel. The Marshall University Lewis College of Business played a significant role in the event. Smith was also joined by CEO of Adobe, Chantal Narayan, and CEO of PayPal, Daniel Schulman.
We're moving into a rapidly changing world. It's in the cloud, devices in the palm of our hand, on our wrists, at the command of our voice. And it's accelerating the pace of change. And to be able to succeed and participate in that kind of economy, you really need one thing, and that is grit and agility.
This panel focuses on bringing the Marshall, Huntington, and the state of West Virginia communities together with the continuous advancement of technology. The business executive's main focus is to expand opportunities and hopes to distribute the future with people from Marshall and West Virginia.
So I think something special is happening here, right? Something special is happening at Marshall, in Huntington, and in West Virginia. We are trying to leapfrog into the next generation for altogether for business and technology. And what we are getting here is building and bringing the community together.
The ability to persevere, the ability to get up and dust yourself off and try something new. And the Silicon Valley has discovered an incredibly well-kept secret. It's called West Virginia.
It is up to Marshall students to take advantage of opportunities in order to better their future careers. Taylor Huddleston, MU Report.
Panelists told Marshall students the best leaders don't just watch the stock prices, they take care of the people who work with them.
In a time when angry voices are calling for closing borders and building walls, Marshall is trying to sound a different note, one of acceptance. Sarah Rowe has an update on the project called Open to All.
The citywide Open to All campaign in Huntington began in 2016 to encourage local businesses and organizations to pledge to maintain a welcoming and safe environment for everyone.
Open to all is a way that a concept can be institutionalized. So the concept is new, but the construct is old.
Marshall University has committed to promoting an inclusive environment and has affirmed this commitment through joining the City of Huntington in its pledge to be open to all.
We have a great set of faculty, staff, administrators who definitely try their best to make sure that every student who touches campus feels welcome, safe, and included. But just like with anything, there's always need for improvement and growth and change. I do think that over time, Marshall will get better.
Open to all means open to all, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, or anything in between. Though adopting this campaign on Marshall's campus was a big step for the future, there's still plenty of room for improvement into making students, staff, faculty, and residents feel safe, comfortable, and welcome in their surroundings. Sarah Rowe, MU Report.
Open to All started with the LGBTQ+ community, but it now carries over into every spectrum. It means regardless of differences, Marshall and the city of Huntington pledge tolerance and inclusiveness in the face of growing hate and division.
If you ask them, most students will say they don't really have the time, ability, or even money to cook at home, much less shop for ingredients. So, a new program is educating students on better grocery habits and meal choices. Turns out, eating healthy on the cheap is easier than most think.
Please don't cut on the sushi mats because you have cutting boards for that.
Marshall students are learning how to cook efficiently and affordably with the help of the Campus Activities Board. Participants of the Shop Green Eat Clean event are taken to Huntington's kitchen to join manager and chef Marty Emerson as he creates cheap, healthy dishes.
He's an amazing educator. He really enjoys doing this, and that partnership is what allowed us to be able to have this space. These are extremely affordable events, and I think they're extremely beneficial to students.
Students would usually catch a ride on the green machine and get all their ingredients from Kroger's, but today it was pre-bought for them. Holland says he wanted to create an event that taught students better knife skills.
Button the knife at the start and take one big stroke as we kind of go down.
And how to choose ingredients in a more thoughtful manner. Students say they're glad the event is offered.
So I knew that this existed and I just haven't done it yet, but when I found out that they were going to be doing sushi, I was like, okay, I have to go because I've wanted to learn how to roll sushi forever.
It's a free event for Marshall students, and it's a free dinner for you to get off campus and eat with some friends, and you get to make it yourself, so you get that reward too, knowing that you made that good stuff.
Holland says students can now eat healthy off campus and not rely on the dining halls for all their food needs. The event is offered twice a semester, and it's free to all.
Black History Month may be over, but the celebration of Black history and the accomplishments of African Americans does not end because of it. As Sebastian Morris reports, the celebrating of those achievements goes on year-round.
Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right.
Black History Month was created in 1926 by historian Carter G. Woodson. But what happens when the month ends?
And I'm glad there's a month for it, but there's never like a certain time period where you can respect those who came before you and like pave the way, because, who knows where, me as a black man, where I would be, if they haven't put themselves in the positions they did for us to have a better, more like diverse future.
But for me, the conversation continues all year round. This is something that my office does and will continue to do long after I'm gone. Black History Month is just a highlight.
I would like to see us highlighted outside of Black History Month. I don't really get much involvement or wanting to be involved unless people are political candidates and it's election time, or like Mr. and Miss Marshall.
Black History Month is over, but the celebration of Black history at Marshall University continues.
We can't erase the past, and it's also important not to forget it, but know that just not repeat those same mistakes that people before you have came.
Officials at Marshall say they support diversity and encourage individuals to celebrate Black history in their daily lives. Sebastian Morris, MU Report.
That's all the time we have for this edition of MU Report. Our newscast is generated by students in the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications. MU Report is a television lab, and we're glad you're watching. You can always catch this newscast on YouTube, and be sure to follow our reporters on Twitter and MU Report on Facebook. I'm Tiara Brown.
And I'm Aaron Dickens. Have a great day.